Hey all, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to discuss about how to enter into the VLSI domain. Like many of you are asking me in LinkedIn, and also many of you are as VLSI aspirants, is very confusing to know like how to enter into VLSI domain and what are the subdomains that are present in VLSI domain, like what are the skills we need to require, how to acquire those skills, or where to find the references for these courses, all these things. So today I want to make a wholesome video on all these of your doubts. Okay, so in today's video we are going to discuss about everything about the VLSI domain, like how to enter into VLSI domain and what are the subdomains within the VLSI domain, and what are the courses we need to learn before entering into that particular field within the VLSI domain. So all these things, and where to find the reference books for this particular VLSI domains. So all these things in wholesome we are going to discuss about everything in today's video. So before going into the video, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing my channel and hit on the notification bell also, right? So and also follow me on all my social media handles, right? So today, before going into what are the subdomains and what are the courses we need to learn in order to enter into the VLSI domain, let us see how these semiconductor or VLSI companies are categorized into. So basically they are categorized into three types. One is EDA, second one is design based, and third one is foundries. So basically EDS means in the real time field, like every industry will be using some tools, right? Okay, so these tools will be developed by some other companies. So basically you will see like Synapsys, Cadence, Graphics, like all these tools. So the designing and development and supporting of these tools are done by this EDA companies. Okay, and then coming to design based, so basically design based companies are those which will design the chip. Okay, so basically the complete front end and back end of VLSI is done in this design based companies only. Okay, like you will see the most famous companies like Intel, Qualcomm, NXP, so all are these are examples of these design based companies. Okay, so the designing of the chip is done by these design based companies. Okay, and then coming to foundries. So after designing, like after both coding, like after designing RTL coding of the chip and after physical designing of the chip, everything is done in the design based companies. Then it is the time of the foundries. So basically in foundries what happens means the chip manufacturing and fabrication is done in this foundries. Okay, nothing but the manufacturing of the chip is done by these foundries. That means the physical chip that you are having in your hand is done by these foundries. Okay, you can have various foundries in India like TSMC, Samsung, okay, global foundries. So these are some of the foundries you can see in within India. Okay, so this is about the categories of companies that you see in semiconductors. So basically in semiconductors they are categorized in this way. One is EDA, design based, and foundries, right? So you can have any opportunities in any of these companies, right? Now coming to design based, so as I told you, design based means designing a chip. Again, while we are designing a chip, it is again categorized into front end and back end design. So basically everything related to hardware description, like everything related to coding will be done in the front end of the VLSI, and everything related to physical design like PD development, everything is done in the back end of VLSI, right? So this is about front end and back end. So every design based company will be having this both front end and back end team with them, right? So this is about the design based. Like again within front end and back end you can have these many opportunities. Like when you are in front end you can choose either RTL design and verification, or DFTs or something like that. And when you are in back end, like you can choose either PD like physical design, or STAs, or physical PV means physical verification, or you can have either analog or design circuit layouts. So all this will be coming under the back end. Okay, so this is about the front end and back end of VLSI. right? So these are the five things. Like mostly you'll find these things like RTL design and verification, and DFT, and memory design, and PDA and STA, and analog design and layouts. So this is all about the VLSI front end and back end. Now let us discuss what are the skills we need to acquire in order to enter into this field, because mostly there are some common skills. Like while you are an if you are an engineer, when while you are studying your engineering at your BTech or MTech levels, you will be coming under certain concepts which are the basics for this VLSI, right? So these are some of the basics that you learn when you are at your engineering level, like digital electronics, Verilog basics, not the entire Verilog, but I'm telling that advanced. Without the advanced topics, you will have some basic topics in Verilog, and you will be working on some Linux or Unix tools, and you will know about basic C and C++ programmings, right? And analog electronics, like aptitude. That means while you are entering into some written test and all, you already need it. So aptitudes, and then CMOS fabrication, CMOS VLSI design. So if you see here, all these topics, if you all these concepts, if you see here, these are just like the subjects that you study in your at your engineering level. Okay, so this is the basic for every VLSI. Like when you want to enter into VLSI, these are some basic topics you will be having with you when you are at your engineering level, right? So after this, like after knowing all these topics within your engineering level, there are certain skills which you need to get it from outside, like outside of your engineering level, in order to enter into the VLSI domain. Like if you see here, as I told you, you are having various domains, subdomains within this front end and back end. So based on the domain that you are choosing, or based on the domain that you want to enter into, you will be acquiring the skills differently. So here every domain will be having its every individual skill courses that you need to do outside of the engineering courses, right? So today let us discuss this one like every what does the basics courses that you need to do in order to enter into all these domains individually. So first is RTL design and verification. So if you want to enter into this RTL design and verification profile, so you need to have good knowledge on ASIC design flows, okay, and then you should have a complete knowledge on Verilog along with advanced topics in Verilog and system Verilog. Okay, these are the basics. Like you should know ASIC design flow, Verilog, system Verilog, and also you should know the knowledge of building verification environment. Okay, by methodologies like UVM methodology, you should know UVM methodology. Based on UVM methodology, you will be building a verification environment. Okay, so you should know UVM also, and then you should know protocols like ABB protocol, AHB protocol, UART, I2C, STB. So these are some basic protocols. Okay, you need not know entirely like every all of these protocols that I mentioned, but at least you should have a good knowledge on two or three protocols as I mentioned now, right? So along with all this, you should have some hands-on experience on Linux. Okay, Linux and Unix, as we discussed, these are the tools. So based on the tools, you should have a complete knowledge on this Linux thing. Okay, so this is about the RTL design and verification engineer, right? So this is about RTL design and verification engineer. So I'm repeating one more time. If you want to become if you want to enter into RTL design and verification profile, you should have good knowledge on Verilog. Most importantly, you should have good knowledge on Verilog, system Verilog, UVM, and protocols like APB, AHB, etc. And you should have a hands-on experience on Linux. Like Linux is important for all these domains, not only for RTL design and verification, but all the entire domains. You should have a good knowledge on Linux or Unix commands, both or any of those two things, right? So this is about RTL design and verification engineering. Now coming to DFT, if you want to enter into DFT domain, and if you want to have a if you want to have if you want to be a DFT engineer, then you should have a complete knowledge on Verilog. Okay, and then you should have some scripting languages knowledge like Tickle, Perl. Okay, so these are some scripting languages you should have thoroughly have good knowledge on these scripting languages. And along with this, you should know some basic DFT related topics like fault models, fault coverage, scan chains, and like insertion ATPB tools, etc. So these are some of the things that you need to know before entering into this DFT domain, right? Next, coming into PD. Okay, PD is nothing but physical design. It may be either physical design engineer or STA engineer or PV means physical verification engineer. Both, all these three domains, like either PD or synthesis or STA engineer or physical verification engineer. So in either of these roles, if you want to enter, you should know scripting languages like Tcl or Perl. Okay, and you should know the CMOS VLSI designs, right? And also you should have good knowledge on physical design flows, like how the physical designing flow is there, like floor planning, placement, CTS, routing, timing, sign off. So all these are some basic things you need to know. Okay, and also you should have good knowledge on checks like DRC checks, LBS checks, antenna checks, parasitic extraction, IV drops, so all IR drops. So all these things you should have a good knowledge while you enter into this PDSTA or PV domain, right? And now coming into the analog and design layout. Like if you want to become an analog and design, if you want to enter into this profile, like analog design and layout profile, you should definitely know scripting languages, obviously, like Tickle Perl. Okay, and CMOS designs also. And you should know IC fabrication. You should have good knowledge on IC fabrication, and you should have knowledge on layout designs and some verification, physical verification tools. Okay, so these are the some basic concepts. Along with this, you should also have a knowledge on checks like DRC checks, just like I have mentioned in PDSTA. You should also have good knowledge on the checks like DRC checks, LVS checks, antenna checks, etc. in analog design and layout also. Okay, so this is about the analog design and layout engineer. If you want to enter into this profile, you should know all these things. Okay, and now if you want to enter into the memory design profile, like if you want to become a memory design engineer, then what are the things you need to know? Like everything related to analog design and layout, like all the topics that we have seen in analog design and layout, like you should know, have a good knowledge on Tickle, Perl and everything, and you should know about the layout design and physical verification tools, and you should know the IC fabrication. So along with this, okay, along with all these things also, again you should have, since it is a memory designing, you should have a good knowledge on SRAM, DRAM, memory read and write operations. Okay, so you should know about everything about SRAM and DRAM, read or write memory operations, and also about FIFO depth. Okay, so these are the basic things you need to learn. You need to know when you want to become a memory design engineer, right? So these are the few courses or skills that you need to add before entering into this particular domain. If you want to survive in this field, you should have thorough knowledge on all the topics that I have mentioned today. Okay, if you want to know more detail about these things, like if you want to just have a presentation on this, I'll be uploading it in my LinkedIn tomorrow. Okay, you can go there and check that out, right? So this is about the front end and back end skills that you need to require. So these are some of the study references, like if you want to take some manuals, if you want to go to refer with some book or anything. So these are some of the references that you could find for various topics in order to enter into the VLSL domain. For digital design, you can have like Maurice Mono or Jan of Wackerly, or these are some of the links that you can go and check out also, right? So these are study references for some digital designs, and then this is for CMOS VLSI design. Okay, and then if you want to enter into analog design, like these are some of the topics that you can check for when you want to enter into analog design. And for study references, many of you are asking me like study references for Verilog and System Verilog. Okay, so these are some basic books that you can check out For the Verilog and system Verilog basics, also you can have various websites, like if you see here, verification guide, okay, Sunburst. These are the, or verification academy, like these are some of the references in order to enter into the design and verification domain in VLSI. Okay, and for DFT, design for testability, you will be having, these are the things for DFTs. Okay, these are some of the references. You can just pause this video and you can take the snapshot of this so that it will be useful for you, right? So this is for PD, physical design, STA, synthesis. For all these things, these are the particular topics that you can refer to. Okay, these are the references. And then for, in order to learn for particular Perl languages, okay, because particular Perl is very important when it comes to the backend domain, also in front end domain also, like if you want to be DFT, okay, then also this tickle or Perl is very important. So that is why these are some of the books that you can refer to in order to know about tickle or Perl. Okay, so this is all about the domain, like how to enter into VLSI domain, what are the categories in VLSI domain, what are the subdomains, and what are the companies, like everything. I hope we have discussed entirely about what is VLSI, how to enter into this VLSI. Hope this video is helpful for you. If you like this video, please give me a like, and also if you come under any VLSI aspirants, please share this video to them so that it will be helpful for them in order to create their future in VLSI. Okay, and also if you are seeing this video, please consider subscribing the video and hit on the notification bell also. Thank you all.